Hi, my name is Katie Annan, and I'm going to teach y'all how to count a set of 30 to 40 manipulatives and two different methods to count them. Okay, so we have our set of circle dots. We don't know how many are in there, how many's in the set, so we're going to count them to see. One way that we can count them is to use a 10 frame. This is what a 10 frame looks like. It's usually just one 10 frame alone by itself, but since I have two, this would be called a double 10 frame. Just looking at this side, a 10 frame is an easy way to help students count. It'll help y'all count your set today. So what you want an example of how this works is a 10 frame has 10 spots. So if you have every dot on every spot, you'll have 10 spaces covered, which should help you realize that there are 10 total dots because there are 10 spaces. So if every space is filled in a 10 frame, then that means this whole thing is equal to 10. So all of these dots would equal 10. So there are different ways to put the dots on the 10 frame that might make more sense to y'all. So you could do dots like this, and you should be able to subtiles. This helps y'all subtiles to know if you how many you automatically have without having to count them individually. So you should already know that this is 4, and if it's easier or makes more sense to you to place the circle dots like this, then you can do that as well. You can also make it like that, or you can make it all in one section. And this is just an easier way so you guys can visually see how many are in there without having to count them like 1, 2, 3. So it's just a quicker way for y'all, and it should make more sense. So what you're going to do is after you've counted up some of these dots, like after you've put all the dots you can on the 10 frame, you're going to take your marker and you're going to write just how many you had, just so you can keep track of how many dots you've had and so we don't lose count. I'm going to fill up both of the 10 frames. For you, it would probably just be one at a time. So let's start with our first 10 frame, and let's just fill up all the spaces and let's see what we get. So let's see. Okay, so if all the spaces are filled, then I have 10. So 10. Let's see. Let's try to fill up this other one. Let's see if we can. And this should help y'all decide or help y'all count a lot faster just because you're not counting on your hands. And so since I already have this is 10, and since all of these are filled, then that should be 10 too, so 10 plus 10. So y'all should know that's 20. But we're just keeping track, so I'm going to slide these over. So this is the pile that I've already counted. And then you're going to fill up your other 10 frame. And all of these are full, so that equals 10 too. So let's put plus 10, and let's see how many we can fill on the other 10 frame. So that did not equal 10 because not all the spaces are covered, but you guys should be able to subtiles that and realize that it's 7 because you should know that there's 3 spots left, so that 10 minus 3 is 7. So let's put 7 over here. And then, you just kind of add them if you haven't really been like keeping track of all of it. So 0 plus 0, you always start in your ones. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 7, that's 7. Go to your tens. So it's 1 plus 1, that's 3. So total you have 37. And this helps you break up a larger number into a smaller part, so it can help you guys see more. And it'll also help you subtiles to automatically know what a set of numbers is. Okay, also another way to count out your set, this is a different set, so it's a different number. Another way to count it out is to divide them into groups and then skip count them to get your total. skip counting is kind of like you skip a number to count faster. It's kind of like counting by twos, like 2, 4, 6, 8, or counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40. So we're going to skip count today, and I think we're going to skip count by fives because that's just kind of an easier number. It's smaller, so you don't have to extend the number too far. So we're going to count our blocks today. So each one of these blocks represents 1. So if I had this whole group would equal 3. So 1 block alone equals 1, and I think I'm going to break them up into groups of 5. So, and then once I have a group of 5, I'm going to put them in this cup. So each of these cups represent 5 only if there's 5 blocks in there. So I'll count out 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now this cup represents 5. So if I had this cup, it represents nothing because there aren't any cubes in it. So let's dump these out. So what we're going to do is take all of these blocks and we're going to sort them out into these boxes, and we'll just skip count from there. Now you don't need to keep the total in mind. All you need to do is just count 5 in each thing, and then we'll line them up and then we'll count them together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this cup equals 5. Let's set it aside. Grab a new cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab a new cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's grab another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's grab another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's grab another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's grab one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. I only have 4. So does this represent 5 anymore? No, it doesn't. So let's dump these cubes out because we know that this can't represent 5 because there aren't enough blocks. So we'll just set this aside. So let's see. Let's line all of our things out. So I'm going to skip count by 5s because each one of these represents 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So altogether, all my boxes equal 30. But I have these extra blocks. I'm going to add these extra blocks to the total of that. So 30 plus 4, that's 34. So by breaking these up into groups and by using blocks, it helps y'all physically see how the number can be broken apart. And it's easier to remember how you can count how you can count a set easier by keeping them in their own little boxes by themselves. So you don't have to count by ones, but if you regroup them and then skip count, it's easier and you can keep track of the numbers better. It also helps y'all with addition because you're trying the leftovers you have to add to your total, and you're also, when you skip count, you're kind of adding by the number that you're skip counting. So just remember that it's easier to either skip count or use the base 10 blocks when you're trying to count a set.
Hi guys, okay, today we're going to learn two different methods on how to solve a word problem. So our word problem today is Miss Hannon has 124 pieces of candy. Her principal gives her 48 pieces of candy. How many pieces of candy does Miss Hannon have? So we're going to solve this word problem first by figuring out what kind of if we're doing addition or subtraction. So Miss Hannon has 124 pieces, so that's a key number that we want to circle. And then her principal gives her 48 pieces. So if you're giving somebody something, that means that they're adding to their original number. So how many pieces of candy does Miss Hannon have? So we're going to do 124 plus 48. So let's write that on our whiteboard. Okay, so we have 124 plus 48, and one way we can solve this is using the base 10 blocks. So let's set up 124 in base 10s. So this is a 100. Each of these is 110. So since we have 20, we need 2 of them. And each of these little guys are equal to 1. So if we have 124, we're going to need 4. So if we're adding to this, where are we going to start? The ones place. So let's see, 8 plus 4. Let's add 8 to this. Let's add 8 ones to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so since we already know that this equals 110, we're gonna trade 10 of these ones and make it a 10. So let's count out 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all of these are equal to one of these. So now, if we're writing it on our thing, on our whiteboard, so 8 plus 4, that's 12, and we're going to bring the 1 up here like we did. So we have a 1 waiting, we have a 10 waiting up here. Let's bring these over. So we have a 10 waiting up here. So now, since we solved the ones, our ones are done. So let's set these aside. So now we have 2 plus 4. So 2 plus 4, that's 6. So let's put 4 of these 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have 6, but we added an extra 10, so we got to add that onto there. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But since we're in 10s, we need to count them like 10s. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So 1 plus 2 plus 4 is equal to 70. And then 100 plus 0, well, 1 plus nothing is always going to be 1. So now you can solve, now your answer is 172. And the blocks kind of help you, helps with knowing what your place value is, because you know that the 2 and the 4 were both equal to 10 because you know that these equal 10, and you know that the 1 was in the hundreds place because you know that this equals 100. So the manipulatives kind of help you see how many are in each place value. So now we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you a different way to add the word problem. So let's look at our word problem again. It says, Miss Hannon has 124 pieces of candy. Her principal gives her 48 pieces of candy. How many pieces of candy does Miss Hannon have? So like last time, our number problem is going to be 124 plus 48. So, okay, but now we're going to do what's called a number line. So a number line kind of looks like this, with the starting number. Let's say we started at 0, and an ending number, and let's say we stop at 10. So on this number line, though, we're going to add we're going to add 48 to 124. So let's see, let's draw our number line again, and I'm actually going to do it a little differently. So let's try to make it sideways. So 124 plus 48. So our number line, you can just draw it across the whiteboard. We're always going to start with the bigger number because it's easier to add a little number to a big number than vice versa. So let's see, can you see that? Okay, so 124 So 124, and what we're going to do is we're going to add numbers that make it easier for us to add. So 124, what do we know that we can add to make this an easier number to add with? So let's go to 48. Well, let's see, maybe we can make this into a tens. Maybe we can make that easier to add. So 124 plus 6 equals 130. So let's just do plus 6. So that's 130. And let's subtract 6 from that. And that's what, 42? Okay, so now 130 from 42. Well, I think we could add 40 because that's an easy number to add. So 130 plus 40 is 170. And so 42 minus 40 equals 2. And so now 170 plus 2. So the number line just kind of helps you break down the numbers, and it ties together how you can use place value to help determine what number to add. And it also helps rounding because you had to round to the nearest tens because it's hard to, if you wanted to just 124 plus 48, that would be a little bit harder, but the number line kind of breaks up the numbers so you can see like all the place values. Well, thanks for watching my video. I hope that you understand more how to add a word problem.